Yeah. Well, I almost had it wrong, but it's time for me to get on this thing all day long. I have make sure that the sound is coming clear. And so we're going to do this right here. My name is Sun 75. I do things my way. Don't really care what nobody say. There are times when I gotta take things into consideration and mix with the frustration. Hold on. Thing was too loud, my device, but I'm trying to come through and do it nice. Yo, for a couple seconds, I wasn't like coming through with audio, but now I know I am. So let's get this thing on. Yo, you ready? You ready? All right, come on, man. It's the Daily Go Getimism show all up in your area. I am your host, Sun 752. So let me do this the way I was supposed to do it, right? Yo, I'm ready to do this thing on a Monday night. We're going to do this thing and someday right. We're going to get this thing and get it right. Get it like you never seen the plight of the black man or any other man. Yo, as long as you a real man and go take a stand, we going to do this thing as if we was born to do it. And we make sure that we flow like fluid. Let's get to it. Don't hesitate. And we going to make sure that we stamp out the hate. So if you come through hating, wait. Yo, don't do that right now. It's too late. Because I'm here to show a little love and be above the fray. And I'm going to do things my way. And I don't really listen to what a lot of people say. Sometimes I got to take it into consideration and make sure that I don't let the frustration build up too much. I got to show my heart. Whatever is going on, I'm going to play my part. What's going on, y'all? It's the Daily Go Getimism show. I'm your host, Sun 752. Feel like a real man should. Power Monday all up in your area. And tonight we're talking about treating you like somebody who looks like you. Treating you like somebody who looks like you, or treating you like somebody you look like. Basically, we're talking about how because you look familiar to somebody or you're able to be grouped into a certain category, somebody might try to treat you like they would treat somebody else instead of treating you like the individual and giving you the respect that you deserve. So it can be off-putting. It can be a serious situation when you really think about it, because everybody, well, let me put it this way. Nobody likes to be treated like somebody else, or nobody wants to take accountability for what somebody else did. So in order for you not to be treated like somebody else, some work has to be put in. Now, this can happen in a variety of ways. And what's up, my people, Spartacus? What's going on, my dude, man? It's always a pleasure to see you coming through. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you. I got something to tell you, too, man. This is going to be kind of hot. This is going to be kind of hot. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, like, have you ever dated somebody and maybe they dated somebody that reminds them of you, or that you remind them of? And so maybe they treated you well because they really like that person who you remind them of, or maybe they tried to mistreat you and blame you for things, or try to judge your character based on somebody else who you remind them of. So that can be a problem. And of course, just like stereotyping goes, racial profiling goes. So, as a black man, I've been racially profiled before. So just because I'm black, there have been times when, I could have been placed under arrest, or I could have been questioned by the authorities, or things just weren't going to go in my favor because maybe they felt like all black people do certain things like crime, selling drugs, being violent, or whatever the stereotype is, that you look at another race or ethnic background because of your prejudices or bigotry or whatever. So this can become a serious situation that can honestly get out of hand. It can take you to places where you would never want to be, because those places where you would never want to be could have you up off of this earth, out of this world, not amongst the living, below ground instead of above ground. But we're going to talk about it, get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we going to solve. Man, I had a crazy day. It was kind of busy today. I really did. And y'all gonna have to bear with me tonight. If I seem a little loopy, or if I seem a little slow or a little sluggish, it's because I'm a little exhausted. I had a long day, a longer night last night. I'm ready to go for the most part. But if y'all see me kind of drift off or don't seem as sharp, yeah, I just want to warn you in advance. That's all I'm trying to do is warn you a little bit in advance. Wait. I'm looking for something. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get the chat right. Dag, man. This chat is already messing up. All right, what up? What up, Spartacus? What up, Info Spot 411? It's a Detroit Lions fan checking in. All right, man, go ahead and be proud. And Harmony Gaming says my ex has never dated the same race as me after me. Maybe I'm the problem. Well, I mean, would that be all of that odd? You know, I know how they say when you go black, you never go back. But doesn't that kind of work the other way around too? You know, like black guys that I know that date white women, they don't normally go back to black women or any other women. So I mean, your preference is your preference, huh? You know what? Tonight, I'm not even going to get. I'm not here to judge. But when these types of situations visit you, like let's say, all right, let's take your situation, Harmony Gaming. And let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta make sure I know if I'm talking to a woman or a man, and it's not all of that obvious. But I'm going to assume that you're a man. And you said, Unc, I need advice how to rotate 3 girls at the same time without getting caught. This actually can be done. Okay, InfoSpot says more people watch your live stream. If more people watch your live stream, the world would be a better place. Some people feel that way. Some people feel the total opposite. But I appreciate that coming from you. That actually means something. But I'll tell you, like going to Harmony Gaming, you know, suppose the different race that you had dated before, suppose she had lumped you in with all the other perceptions of whatever race you are, because I don't know if you're black or you're white. You know what I mean? But suppose she had these preconceived notions about how you're supposed to be and expected you to fill that void or fit the bill or act in kind. You know, like suppose. And you're like, I'm me. I'm not everybody else. There might be some things that you can represent from the group or you could speak on of the group, but you're not them and you're not that. But some people might try to paint you into those kind of corners. Some people might try to, you know, expect you to act that way. It's really no different than if you don't know that much about dogs or cats or whatever, so you don't understand that there are certain breeds that do this or do that. So you think that a dog is a dog, so all dogs are supposed to do this. So maybe you're expecting a Chihuahua to act like a golden retriever. So you steady trying to get them to jump in the water and fetch sticks and all that kind of stuff, and that's not what they do. I don't even know if like most animals know how to swim automatically, but I'm not, you know, if you look at the way a Chihuahua is built, and they might not be able to swim all that well. You know what I mean? Those little doggy paddles, but who knows? But you might be able to teach a Chihuahua how to fetch, but the amount of fetching that they're going to do is probably going to be limited. That's not what their breed does. Same thing with like a pit bull. Like that's not what, you know, I fetch a little bit, but this is not what we do. So when you start lumping everything into one category, like they are supposed to act the way you think that they're supposed to act because your knowledge is limited, it can start to get on your nerves. It can really start to get to you, particularly when you're dealing with an ex. You're dealing with an ex that maybe your ex is the type that dates in a linear way. Like all of their exes look the same. Remember when Tiger Woods got caught cheating by his wife? And then all of the chicks that he was messing with, you saw that they all looked the same. I mean, cookie cutter. Like they were all tall, they were all white, they were all blonde. And they looked alike. Like, where did you go? To the tall white blonde store or something like that? That was his thing. That was his type. Crow says, your head look smooth as fuck, Well, I did just shave today. So I'm going to take that as a compliment. Yeah, this is fresh shaving. But you know, when you got a baldy, even when you shave, you don't get all the hair off. Like, I don't feel any hair. Like, I'm fresh shaven. But you still see, like, the remnants of the hair. Yeah, ain't nothing I can do about that. All right, Aiden Guidry says, Mike Tyson. Man, poor Mike Tyson. Like people giving him the biz today, ain't they? I mean, when you really think about what happened with Mike on Friday night, I guess we were all very foolish to think that he was going to win that fight. But I did think he was going to win the fight. I really did. I don't think I realized that dude was only 27 years old though. I probably would have still thought that Mike was going to win. I don't know, that nostalgia is crazy. But speaking of that, what if you met somebody who looked or reminded you of Mike Tyson? So maybe you, like, I guess you would have to ask the question of, are we talking about the 20-something-year-old Mike Tyson, the 30s, the 40s, or the 58-year-old Mike Tyson? Which Mike Tyson would you choose? Which one, would he remind you of? But you might expect him to talk with a lisp or not think too well about the things that he says. Because remember when Mike was younger, they were always interviewing him, and he was easily mocked and ridiculed and duplicated and all that kind of stuff. Now imagine somebody looking like Mike Tyson in the face, but you expecting him to act like Mike Tyson. Now this dude might be the total opposite of what Mike is. Maybe he was a little bit more polished. Maybe he was a little bit more refined. Maybe he was a little bit more educated. Maybe he was a little bit, he was trained better. Not in the sport of boxing. Maybe you expecting this dude to be able to knock somebody out, and he ain't never boxed a day in his life. Let me see. Lock Edit says it was scripted. I believe so. When is that much money involved for one fight, what do we expect? Boxing has been corrupt for how long, y'all? Mobsters, Italian mobsters used to control boxing. That should tell us right there. The fix was always in. But when we dealing with that much, a 58-year-old fighting a 27-year-old, did we really expect that thing to be 100% on the level? I guess when you're not thinking about it, why not? Harmony Gaming says, I thought Mike was going to win to protect his legacy. Well, look at it like this. Let's say he did win. It wouldn't have been like, it's not like he don't have any losses on his record, because he has plenty. He's lost plenty of times. Not like, he's won way more times than he's lost, but he has significant losses on his record. He lost his first loss to Buster Douglas, and then he lost to Evander arguably twice. He definitely didn't beat Evander Holyfield, right? And he lost to Lennox Lewis. And I believe that Mike lost to somebody else during a time when it seemed like he was just fighting for the money. What's Mike's overall record? What's his overall record? Let's check it here. What is Mike Tyson's overall fight record?
50-6 record, according to Marca.com. The 50-6 record that Mike Tyson forged in his professional boxing career, with 44 victories by KO, and especially the way he demolished his opponents, have made him one of the most iconic figures in the history of world sport.
50-6. So before Friday night, he was 49-5. I'm sorry. He was 50-5. So now he's 50-6. So let's see. Lennox Lewis twice. Buster Douglas. I'm not Lennox Lewis twice. I'm sorry. Evander Holyfield twice. Buster Douglas. And Lennox Lewis. And now Jake Paul. Who else did he lose to? Who else did he lose to? Do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. It's 2 a.m. Yo, we about to be friends. Everything is going to be all right. I'm going to see the end. We going to make sure that we do it like 10 times like 20. So 2 hours is funny, but everything is going to be good. And let's make this thing understood. If you would be down like a submarine, I'm going to ask you, can we do this thing when you're on the scene? The spleen doesn't get ripped because I'm not trying to chip you off when I bust at you. Yo, chill. Oh, yo, everything is going to be good. We going to do this thing. Just hit the like button if you could. That's all I'm asking you for. The lines are open. Blog Talk is treating us like people tonight. So y'all can hit us up. 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes. Y'all, I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1 or not. And that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on and do the damn, do the damn thing. This is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. And we are talking about being treated like someone who looks like you. Being treated like someone who looks like you. What do you know? What do you know about being treated like somebody who looks like you? Just because you remind them of somebody else. Aiden Guidry says, you look like Mike Tyson, kind of. I don't know. Haven't been told that a lot, but okay. Harmony Gaming says, either way, if he won or not, the fight was rigged. I have to agree. He says, not all boxing is rigged, though. Tank is raw talent. Yeah, not all boxing. I will say this. Not all boxers are rigged. But boxing, it may not be the boxers. But what about certain times when the refs have been paid off? Obviously. Like, remember when Meldrick Taylor from Philly fought Julio Cesar Chavez? Now, he was beating him the whole fight because Meldrick was nice with his. He was beating Julio Cesar Chavez that whole night. Then the last round and the last few seconds of the last round, Julio starts, making a comeback. But there's only like what? 10 or 20 seconds left in the fight, and they call it a TKO. A few seconds later, The fight the bell would have rung, and undisputedly Meldrick would have won. He was beating him the whole fight. So that was fixed. Not on Meldrick's side, not on the Julio Cesar Chavez side. And Meldrick Taylor was never the same after that. He was never the same after that. Oh, hold on, how many seconds was it left when George Steele called that fight? Worst referee in boxing. Corrupt. The Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez scandal. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Chavez won a fight by a controversial TKO of Taylor only 2 seconds. 2 seconds before the end of the 12th and last round. It was the last round of the fight. How do you call a fight in the last 2 seconds? What, was he going to kill him? I mean, that fight was rigged. That was rigged. It wasn't rigged because of Meldrick Taylor. He wasn't in on it. He went into a depression. He was a shot fighter after that. He was on his way to greatness. 2 seconds left. Come on, man. Who does that? That was beyond horrible. Beyond horrible. Crow says, Unc, what you think about Black and Miles? I don't smoke. I don't drink. Clean body, baby. Clean body. But Black and Miles, any of those cigars is very, very bad for you. Cheryl Halsey, what's going on, Ma? Says, I still got love for Mike, for Tyson. We all do. Aiden says, glad I could change the convo. Gotta go now. See ya. Man, you ain't changed the convo. We still will talk about what we gotta talk about. It's all good though. Love is love. The Unfettered Man says, do you like snow bunnies? Only if you're talking about real snow and real rabbits. I mean, what are we really saying? Andy Cipriano Andres. How we living, Omar? Man, I'm living. I'm feeling like a real man should. Everything is good. You know what I mean? I'm a little tired. I've had a crazy day, but I'm going to push on and everything is going to be good. Harmony says, in that case, every sport with a ref is rigged, which is true. I know damn well those refs who have friends placing parlays for them. You have somewhat of control of the outcomes of games, and somebody's waving a bunch of money in your face, or they telling you that you better do it, or you'll never referee again, or you might not even be alive anymore. Sounds like a pretty easy way to influence somebody. We have a call on the line. Just before we take the caller, let's go ahead and get dressed, man. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and put our clothes on. Go ahead and put our clothes on. It's time. It's time. Daily Go Get 'Em is a show. Being treated like someone who looks like you. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and put our uniform on, baby. Put on the uniform. All right. I know Friday, I totally forgot to do it. We got caught up. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get my cow bones on. You know what I mean? My cow bones looking fresh. I think they are. You know what I mean? Get my cow bones looking fresh. Fresh. All right. It's time for y'all to choose which one y'all want to wear. Which one you want to wear? Oh, I got to look at this one because which ones? Which ones? Which ones? Is it y'all want to wear the one on the left? The one in the middle? Or the one on the right? Cow bones. Cow bones. I said the cow bones. Which one? Which one? Is it the one on the left? Yes. Yes. Look at the section right there. Is it the one in the middle? Yes. Yes. It's all factual, no riddles. Is the one on the right? Yeah. We can rock this for a part of the night. Spartacus says middle. Cheryl says middle. We get one more middle. We get one more middle, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it. This is the one on the left. The one in the middle, which is leading. or the one on the right? Please don't take all day. I'm gonna give y'all no, you know what? I'm gonna do 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like the middle is gonna make it. It looks like the middle is a good look. All right, so let's go ahead, get y'all fitted. All right. Okay. We good? We good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. No, I don't like that. That was too dark. All right. I think that one was better. Yeah. Look at that. You're looking good, baby. Looking good. That's right. Ladies, you're looking good. You're looking pretty. You're looking beautiful. You're looking sweet. You're looking gorgeous. You're looking sexy. You're looking elegant. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, baby. I gotta get you home with me tonight. Brothers, you're looking fly. You're looking handsome. You're looking suave. You're looking debonair. You're looking smooth. You got your soft stuff on. Everything is good. Everything is going to be. I take a screenshot of showing what you got. Take a screenshot. You know, you like it a lot. Take a screenshot. Yeah, you're rolling with, oh, it's the DGD, the Daily Go Get a Mism show. All right, so we ready. So we are ready. Like I said, y'all can call in 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. And I get you on up in here. So without any further ado, all right. All right. Caller with the last numbers. Hold on. Get it together over here. My cursor is down. Hold on. All right. Caller with the last numbers. 0297. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Em show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind tonight? What's good? Holla at me.
Hey, this is Ed from Detroit, and I'm in the chat, my YouTube channel, InfoSpot 411.
My people. Well, I'm glad to see you here. What's going on, my man? What's good with you?
Oh, I'm happy, man. My football team won this weekend, like yours did Thursday night. So
They sure did. They kicked a lot of ass yesterday.
Yeah, they beat up pretty bad in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
A couple things on first with the boxing, and I was going to comment on your topic in the show.
Okay.
What got me sucked in to the Tyson was I was watching a few of them clips of him training.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that one Rocky movie in 2008 when the trainer looked at him and said, yeah, you can't move around no more, this and that, but you can lay some hurting bombs. Let's start hitting some weights. And I was counting on him like, man, all he's got to do is get one good uppercut in like he did to that Volpa, you know, and I'm thinking, yeah, I think he might pull this off. And I'm like, oh, man, I was duped. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You know, but I still give him credit. He's 58 years old. He was in good enough shape to get in there and, mix it up a little bit. But, everybody, we like you said, we have our fond memories of Tyson's, golden years there in the 80s, like when he knocked out Michael Spinks and, Iron Mike. But it was, I still enjoyed seeing him back in the ring there one last time, coming out and doing his thing, even though, but it was big payday. The thing got hyped up and I got sucked in. But, we'll look back on it 2 or 3 years ago. Say it was still nice to see him in the ring one more time.
But I hope that is the last time that we saw him. And, you're right. And I saw some of his training videos, too. And I'm thinking, like, Mike still has it. And we all know that, yeah, if he catches you with one of those things, he's going to put you to sleep. And I'm, for some reason, I'm thinking that even experienced boxer would have a hard time with somebody like Mike Tyson. But we all had to get a reality check that, we're about at least 20 years a little too late. 20 years ago, Mike Tyson would have knocked that cat out easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we talking about 20 years ago. So that would have put us in what? 2004. 2004. Now we know what he would have done in 1994, but in 1994 he was still locked up, wasn't he? I believe so.
Yeah, he was locked up for a little while there, and then he had his resurgence, and then I think he got in trouble where he was suspended for a while for that Holyfield incident where he bit Holyfield's ear.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about the officials and the refs, the one fight that really pissed me off when I got turned away from boxing back some years, I think it was late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm going to put more, I look at this blame, I can't prove it on Don King, but the Holyfield-Lennox Lewis fight, the first one got ruled a draw. And when I was watching that damn thing, I'm like, no, Lennox Lewis clearly's got him in the point.
Yeah.
But Holyfield's manager and promoter was Don King. And when they ruled that a draw, I said, son of a, you know what?
Yeah.
They're gonna wait another 6-8 months, have another big pay-per-view, get another nice person for both boxers. And then that's what happened. And Lewis won it the second time. I said, man, you know, damn it. This thing was rigged with those judges and scoring cards, and Don King was in on this thing. Like, hey, if we can get this thing out a draw, you know what? You guys are looking at another big $1 million payday. I think that, you know, a lot of people were in on that thing, especially I said, you know, nobody in God's green earth would have saw that a Holyfield one. That was a draw. Lewis clearly won that fight, but you know, hey,
yeah, it was. You know, all Don King fights all had that same fixed energy. It was bad. If you were a Don King fighter, you know that the fix was in one way or another. I mean, we saw him turn his back on Mike Tyson right at the loss. Like, soon as he got knocked out, here he is with Lennox Lewis. Like, yeah, here's my man. I was like, damn, that fast? Like, he got it. Doesn't he have his own promoter? Hey, Don King was the best of the best when it came to that boxing promotion, but he was totally 100% corrupt. He just was. He was. Yeah. But hey, I mean, that's boxing. No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm in total agreement with you, without a doubt, on Don King. With the topic, I kind of look at it like two things: is stereotypes is bad, but I understand discrimination when it comes to dating, and I'm not just talking about the skin color. And I'll give you an example here, and I'm curious to get your thoughts. With stereotype stuff, would be like, let's say a woman had a second divorce, or got a divorce, and then they had a long-term relationship, got out of it, starts dating, you know, someone serious about 2 years later, and just certain things the guy does or who the guy is, it doesn't matter, and it's like you're effed if you fit her bad type of stereotype. And it can go just the opposite with men, and that's a bad thing, and it's something that, you know, I don't have the answer for everything, but to me, it's like you got to be able to identify and say, "Ooh, I got a bad stereotype." Even though most of the time when I date younger women or I date older women, you know, I got to let go that not all younger women are just after me for money, or, you know, not all older men are just this or this, just that. That'd be the thing that, you know, would help everybody. It's just identify your stereotypes that you might have if they're bad, and you know, try to understand that so it doesn't ruin a relationship or something, you know, something good you might have come along. And with the discrimination, which I understand, is what I'm referring to is like, you know, let's say a woman says, "Hey, I'm not dating some guy unless he's at least 6 foot or taller," or "I'm not dating any guy who makes under 75K. You know, they could be blue collar, but they got to be a certain income." Or a guy might be like, "Hey, I'm not dating a single mother if the kids are, you know, under 17, 18 years old. I just don't need that headache. You know, even though she might be a good woman and everything is everything, but it won't happen. I'm not. I understand, and it's not wrong with it. We all have our own preferences, and we discriminate on certain things, But the stereotypes is just something that's kind of bad. But anyway, your thoughts on that?
Well, the thing is, it's different if you have expectations of somebody because of a personal preference. But when you start expecting somebody to do something, or you start putting expectations on them, unrealistic expectations on them, or trying to blame them for something that they didn't do because somebody who looked like them or reminded you of them did the same things. So like you take that same woman in that scenario, and let's say you remind her of her ex that used to cheat on her all the time, or used to lie all the time, or drank too much, or something like that. Let's say drink too much. Now, so let's just say you have a beer, or go get a 6-pack or something like that for you and her to sip on or whatever. And now she's looking at you like you're an alcoholic. So all of a sudden she's counting your drinks and all of that kind of stuff because her ex, who you remind her of, used to drink too much. So anytime that you're drinking socially, she's looking at you sideways and pretty much painting you into the same corner, or putting you in the same category as he was. Now that's just not fair. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe she had an ex that used to pay for everything for her. So he's just shower her with a bunch of money and gifts and whatever. I don't even know what kind of time he was giving her, but he definitely lavished her with a lot of material things. Now here she is expecting you to do the same things. Why? Because y'all have the same haircut? Because, maybe y'all have the same zodiac sign? Like, what's going on? So of course it's going to be unfair to you, and you may feel some kind of way about it, because maybe you really like her, but you're not trying to be a carbon copy of what she had before. Because if what she had before was so great, why would she be looking for something else? Why didn't you just stay with him? Or if what you had was so bad, why would you even pursue anybody else that remotely reminded you of that person? So, and I know men don't like to be compared to other men, but women really resent it. Women really resent being compared to another woman. You want to get under a woman's skin? Say something like, "Yeah, well, my ex used to cook me dinner all the time," or "She could really throw down in the bedroom," and you're gonna have a permanent problem with your woman. You understand what I'm saying? So being treated like somebody else because you look like them can cause a lot of problems. Very rarely. Well, I guess I would have to be there, but I'm thinking that it's probably more rare that you're treated well because you remind somebody of somebody else. And even if you were treated well just because you look like somebody else or remind somebody of somebody else, what happens when you don't act like that person? Maybe you look like them, maybe you have mannerisms like them, but because you have your own mind and you have your own ideas, you're not following in their footsteps, and you're not doing the things that they were doing. And now somebody is pissed off with you because they've already placed these unrealistic expectations on you because you look like somebody else.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that can be a really, really big problem. So and there are times when you kind of have to deal with this. Let's say, like in a situation where you go get a job, and the purpose of the application and the resume is to get a profile on you. So let's say the person whose job you're trying to fill was a really good employee, a popular employee, somebody that they didn't really want to let go, but maybe they had to let them go because maybe they moved away, or maybe they went on to pursue something else. But they were really high on that person who vacated the position. Now here you are reminding them of that person. So you have you have the right qualifications, you have the right you have all of the attributes that it takes to fill the position. But maybe your style of working or management or whatever, maybe it was totally different from that person. So because they like the way the last guy did it, they want you to do the same thing, like a cookie cutter. And you're like, no, he had some, from what y'all telling me, he had some pretty good ideas, but why would you try to fill a position without any change? Normally, when you change leadership or you change management, it's because you want an upgrade. So what happens when they don't want your upgrade? They want you to just toe the line. And you're thinking like, well, I don't work that way. And I would appreciate it if y'all would give me a chance to show y'all what I can do or to contribute in my way, to try out these ideas that I have, because I know that they're going to be effective or whatever. And because you may need the job, you might just tell, like, all right, so y'all saying that all y'all want me to do is make sure that the budget is intact. Y'all don't care about nothing else? Okay. So that's all the other guy did. All right, I'll do it. You might do it because it's just for the money. Don't make any waves. All right, why make a job harder for yourself than it has to be, right? But yeah, it's like they don't appreciate you for yourself. So that can be tough.
It's making me think what you were just talking about is I've seen when you talk like management supervision, as I've seen that love and hate where I've seen employees sit there and they will bitch and harp about, oh man, Joe Blow here is my supervisor manager, he's so out of touch with customer service, or he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, or she ain't doing this, ain't doing that. And then let's say they get another job after a couple of years or move to a different department. Someone new comes in and is like, man, when so-and-so was here, they let us do this, and they would recognize us for that, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they love them when they're gone.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's going to be good and bad when someone new comes in, Well, like I'll tell you a personal story with me. This goes back, I want 2010 or 11 it was. I dated this lady for about a month and a half. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why I left her and what went wrong. Well, when I first started dating her, she mentioned, "Oh, I'm into older men, and you're one of the few people I date that's around my age." I think it was like 2 years older than her at this time in my early 30s. So I was like, "Oh, I didn't think nothing of it." She had one kid that was, I think, about 12, 13 years old. Well, come to find out, she started, hitting around after about the third date, like, "Oh, I wanted to get a TV, and I'm thinking going to Sam's Club, or I'm not sure I go to this ABC warehouse or this place or that place." So I says, "Well, you need help getting the damn thing, I'll get it." But what she was hitting at is, get a little cash in my hand to help get a fucking TV. And then it was about after sex, a third or fourth time, her asking me for some money. Oh, for something with some furniture or some bullshit like that, chipping a little bit. And then I'm like, why you were attracted to older men, you were attracted to older men with money. But then when I did talk to her a few times, both prior relationships with these older men, she left because from her side of the story, there's always three sides of the story, his, her, the truth, was that they were both too controlling. So, okay, now you got me. I don't have the type of big bucks like some of these older guys. that you were dating, because you only dated them because they had the big money.
Right.
But, you know, I had the looks and a lot more going for me. Well, I'm sorry, you can't have everything. And then two, you know, I'm not cheap, but I'm not here just to put a bunch of, you know, greenbacks in your hand and say, hey, you know what, man, that thing between your legs is just so good. Here, I'll give you as much money as I can. So after a month or so, I called that off because I knew it wasn't going to go too far unless I was going to spoil her. It's just the bottom line. Well, you want to be spoiled, go find some old man who's going to control you again. You know, go chase someone. That's not me. You know, so I just ended it. And I made it my fault. Like, well, you know, it's not you, it's just me. I got this man I'm going through, and then, you know, let's just be friends. We'll keep in touch, and then just cut that shit off. So, but you know, that goes into, I made a suggestion for a future show because I enjoy listening to women and men, and sometimes I find out other information I'll think of. But first and second date red flags, I think, would be a great future topic. Maybe you covered it in a prior show or way back, but I mean, I got a few. I did a video on that on my channel years ago, but I always enjoy listening to other people, like red flags.
Yeah,
you know, to look out for.
Yeah, because red flags are one of those things that are very subjective. So, like, my red flags may look nothing like yours. You know what I mean? What I think is interesting about red flags, and we can definitely do a show about that. What I think is interesting about the way people handle red flags is, you know, you on the internet, everybody. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people put up that hard exterior, like, yo, as soon as I see red flags, I'm out of there. I'm gonna make a move or whatever. But I'm like, you might be mistaking a red flag for just a mistake. You know, I mean, when somebody's trying to get to know you, you know, they may do all kinds of things that they think is going to move them closer to you, and those might be some of the things that move them away from you. But, you know, getting to know a person is a process that, well, let me just put it this way. People don't come preloaded with everything that pleases you. The same way you don't come preloaded with everything that pleases somebody else. Because if it was like that, then there would be no reason to ever get to know a person, to ever bond with them, to ever get close to them, to ever, you know, talk to them, to ever learn their history, to ever try to gel with them. They're already exactly what you need. So I guess you're just going to live happily ever after. And life doesn't really work that way. So the whole red flags thing is an interesting phenomenon from person to person. You know,
sure.
You often hear people say that, yeah, they had a lot of red flags that I ignored in the beginning. You didn't necessarily ignore the red flags. They weren't that red. They might have been pinkish. You know what I mean? The overall upside of what they were bringing to the table overrode the little problems that you had. Even if the little problems may have been major, it may have been some dangerous shit. Like, well, yeah, I know that you know, he's a bit of a gangster, but you know, she loves him, and so, you know, she moved forward with him. Hey, shit happens. Shit happens, but I mean, you know, so yeah, we'll do that. Maybe on Thursday we could do a whole red flags thing. You know what I mean? That wouldn't hurt. But
sure.
Yeah. But before you go, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about what do you think about the Cowboys and the Giants tanking?
Oh man, they're both, you know, I kind of put them with the Bears and the Tennessee Titans. I'm just looking at those as kind of rebuild teams. The Cowboys is just more crap that's happened with the roster and that.
Yeah.
But they're those rebuild teams, you know. I'm not looking at them like, let's say the NFC, for example, with the Eagles and the Cardinals. I'm still kind of on the fence with the 49ers, the Seahawks, you know. I was really with the Falcons, and then they had that real, they lost the Broncos. They're kind of going in the opposite direction. Wow. But the Lions' big test is going to be, I think, 3 weeks. We got the Colts this Sunday, then Thanksgiving Day, the Bears, which are a dumpster fire rebuild, but the Bills, Lions and Bills, is going to be in December. That's going to be a good.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah, but man, I'd sure love to see. But this might be real quick if we talk NFL for a quick second. Maybe we'll have to do a bet if it comes up. I mean, I want to see an Eagles-Lions game, but this might be something really, really good. Whether it's at Ford Field or it's in Philly, if those two haven't played each other, and let's say they both got 3 losses at the end of the regular season, and it's a divisional or the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Oh man, is there going to be some buzz around that? The Eagles beat this team and that team that beat the Lions, but the Lions beat this team that took out the Eagles. And oh boy, it's going to be a doozy, man. A good one. Just like if the Chiefs and the Bills come back in that AFC championship to play each other again.
Yeah. The only thing is, if the Eagles and the Lions make it to the NFC Championship together, if the Lions play at home, the only way it's going to be a really good game to me is if we play in Philly, because y'all used to playing in that dome. Nobody's going to beat y'all in that dome. You know what I mean? So when you have to play on grass in open air, it's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you bring back the real football. So it'll be interesting to see, because I don't really see. But the Lions might not lose another game. They might.
Yeah, we got the Bills and 49ers are pretty much 2 toughest ones. We meet Green Bay again, but it's at
49ers that's not a tough game anymore. They are toast.
Yeah.
They are fucking toast.
One against the Bills.
Yeah, Bills.
The thing I do agree with you, man, it's a different dimension of football when you talk outdoor stadiums.
Definitely.
When you talk like going to Philly, this thing could be, an inch of snow or snow's coming down, or you might have a game where there's no snow, but it's like, 3 degrees with a wind chill of -1 below 0, and it's cold as shit. You get the Mother Nature factor, especially when you talk like January,
or
an NFC Championship game, where if it's in Detroit, it's going to be 70 degrees, and you got a dome in there, and then wow. Because they did have one game, gosh, I think it was 2015 or 16, the Lions came, they lost and got beaten Philly, and it was like a huge snow game.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
the
like
snowball,
crazy.
that shit was crazy. Yeah.
Were you at that one?
Yeah, I was there. I was freezing my ass off too. I was cold as shit. As a matter of fact, when we finally started to come back, I had left because when my feet get cold, man, it's a wrap. I can't do it. So then I already taped the game at home. So when I got home, I was like, we won? And I was like, damn, they were having a ball out there. When I was there, that shit was, I was like, oh, this is a dud. I'm out of here. But I watched the video on YouTube yesterday about the 1981 Bengals, the AFC Championship between the Bengals and the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
The freeze bowl is the coldest game ever. They said it was 59 below. Yeah. I mean, that shit was crazy. But I don't know, man. I love watching those old. I start getting emotional when I watch those games. I'm like, yeah, that was great. I remember this. I was just a kid. It was crazy. But and I was checking out how they were saying that when you threw the ball, plenty of times the ball just died right there in air. So, they had to get the run game going because they couldn't win through the air. Neither team could win through the air. And we talk about Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts was he was a passing machine. So, but but the Chargers couldn't play and they couldn't win in cold weather. They just couldn't do it. And that was their downfall. That's why they couldn't make it to the Super Bowl. Back in the day. And they had a really, really good team in the late 70s, early 80s. They was the shit.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll tell you what, just a little more football and then I'll hang up and get other callers. But if the Eagles do have to come to Detroit for a divisional or NFC championship, I work for the city of Detroit, but I'm like 12 minutes from Ford Field. I mean, I can hook you up with free parking, and you could just take an Uber, like a 5-6 minute Uber ride, and be dropped off down the street from Ford Field and go catch the game. If you ever want to make the trip to Detroit and just stay in a Red Roof Inn for for a couple of days, and if you get tickets and want to go, let me know. I'll hook you up. No problem with parking. And
well, that's what's up.
You like it?
I have family in
Detroit.
I have family in Detroit, so it won't be no problem.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I have family in Detroit. That's why you don't hear me talk bad about Detroit. You know what I mean? Detroit and Milwaukee. I got family in both, so I'm like, these goddamn Midwesterners.
Well, Detroit's got a really nice downtown and midtown Detroit. You got the casinos. There's Hart Plaza downtown, and in midtown we have a big, well-known university, a great art institute. There's a lot of stuff. Now you get East Side, West Side Detroit. That's when you get into more rundown urban areas,
that hood shit.
The areas that have been neglected and whatnot. But downtown, midtown, I mean, it's nice. It's come a lot since like the 1980s and 90s.
Yeah.
But one other question I had, football, and I'll hang up. I'm just curious, if you were at the game, there was a clip I watched on YouTube, and I want to say this was like maybe 2012 to 2016, I think, but there was a infamous thing that's still on YouTube at an Eagles game. They had a huge snowball fight.
Oh shit!
And it got out of control, and I watched like the 2 or 3 minutes of this thing, and it was like one section was going at the other section. The snowballs are flying just about everywhere.
It was more like ice balls. That shit was crazy. Yeah. That wasn't in my section, but I remember that. But in the link, they sanitized it a lot. The real fans were when we had the vet. Those fans were off the chain, and that's when we used to have the most fun because they priced everybody out of the link. So you had people who had season tickets for 20, 30, 40 years, and when they first built the new stadium, you had to pay for. Let's say you had family season tickets. So let's say you had 5 or 6 tickets. Well, when they first developed the new stadium, they wouldn't let anybody pay with a credit card. What kind of crazy shit was that? So here it is, 2003. Wow. They didn't let anybody pay with a credit card. You had to pay with cash. So a lot of people lost their season tickets over that. And guess what happened? As soon as the season started, then they let everybody use the credit cards again. So it was done on purpose to get the Broad Street bullies out. And so now it was sort of like the Flyers games where it used to be so crazy and rough and actually violent, but at $80 a ticket over a 41 game season, you're not going to get a whole lot of hood cats. You know what I mean? So they sanitized the Flyers too. But all of the real fans were when the teams were dangerous, when you didn't want to come into our stadiums. It's like, no, this is the atmosphere was just something else. So, but yeah,
I got killed wearing I was a big Peyton Manning fan, and I went to see a Browns game. This, I want to say, it was like 2006, I believe it was.
Okay.
Holy smokes, man! Them Browns fans, they're a shit franchise.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but they fans are the realest. Yeah.
Almost spit on me. But one of the Eagles questions. What are your thoughts? I thought it was they did a good job showing how the old Veterans Stadium looked, if I'm saying it correctly, with that movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg. Did you like that, where he played kind of the true story on Vince Papelli was his name?
I was in that movie. I'm actually in that movie. No bullshit. I'm in the movie. The scene where they are, but they had the tryouts. and Vince Papale has his hood up, and I'm in the background walking with my bag, my duffel bag to the car. Now you're not going to see my face because they have it. You know how they in the background they have it sort of. How would you describe it? It's like sort of like cloudy, so you know they're not concentrating on us. All you see is the scene between Vince Papale and Dick Vermeil. But I was in that scene, and I was an extra.
Wow.
Yeah, that whole summer I spent a good part of that whole summer, you know, being an extra for that movie, and I got to be in that scene, and I actually got a Actors Guild credit for that. And so I got a chance to eat the good food and to meet the actors like face to face. It was a great experience. That was a hell of a summer. That 2005. I still have the checks. I still have the checks from 20. Yeah, I was in that movie. Yeah, that's what I'm like. When I try to, whenever I try to show people, I'm like, all right, so that's me back there. You can't really see, but you see my silhouette sort of. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite Eagle was still he was great quarterback, but I liked he was such a class act was Donovan McNabb. I've always liked Donovan McNabb. I know some people got bitter because it wasn't it. He went to the Redskins for a few years before he retired after he left Philly.
They never treated Donovan. They never gave him the respect that he should have got here because he was a good guy and we didn't want a good guy. The Eagles fans they sided with T.O. Stupidest shit I ever heard. You know, so we like the one with the scandal, the one that would talk to the media. You know, I saw a video and they talking about, you know, Micah Parsons speaks on the Eagles a lot because he's from Harrisburg, which is close. It's only an hour and a half away from Philly. And he seems to have an affinity for the Eagles, even though his whole family is Cowboy fans. And so him playing for the Cowboys was like a big dream of his. But one thing about Michael Parsons is that when things aren't going his way, he's not the greatest teammate. And he's definitely not the greatest player when it comes to the playoffs. He's never done anything to advance his team in the playoffs. And they were saying, you know, do y'all think that he's going to come to Philly? And I was thinking, like, I don't really want him to come here. Last year, I would have said, yeah, hell yeah, let him come. But now I'm like, we don't have any locker room cancers. And we don't need another one. But I remember those T.O. days, and they sucked because he sucked all of the air out of the franchise because he was such a selfish player, you know, and McNabb wasn't a selfish player. He came from a good family. Mm-hmm. He did the right things. He was married. He was active in the community. He did everything that you're supposed to do as to represent your team, your teammates, and your city. They didn't want that. They wanted the messy. They wanted the gritty. I was like, that first year with T.O. was great. The second year was hell, and then he was out of there. And I never want another player like that on a team again. But McNabb was great. He never got his just due. But I mean, the numbers don't lie, and neither does the tape. He was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's a pleasure talking with you, man. And I'll be in the chat there, and I'll let you get to some other callers. And,
without a doubt. Good looking out, man.
You have a good one, man.
You have a good night.
You bet.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Good stuff there as usual. Good stuff there, my man Ed from Detroit, aka Info Spot 411. Go check out his channel. Got some good shit going on over there. This is the Daily Go Getimism, Daily Go Getimism show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the rrrr. Feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. Also, we are talking about being treated like something just because you look like somebody else. Being treated like someone that looks like you or that you look like. Yeah, it's a tough situation. It really is a tough situation when somebody is expecting you to do something that somebody else did just because you look like them, act like them. And it doesn't always have to be somebody that you don't know. It could be your brother or your sister or another relative. And people often think that people from the same families are going to do the same things, act the same way, you know, portray the same thing. And the big problem with that is that it can really go into a profiling issue. Whether you're talking about racial profiling, ethnic profiling, cultural profiling, whatever. I've known families who were known by the authorities, aka the cops. Their family was all in the shit. Maybe they were in the drugs. Maybe they were known for being violent. Maybe they were, just always in trouble with the law. So if enough people from your family have gotten in trouble with the law, and then it's your turn, maybe you have committed a minor offense or no offense. Maybe you were just maybe just your name carried a reputation that preceded you. So because all of your brothers and your cousins and whatever, maybe because they were all jailbirds, they were all drug dealers, they were all violent criminals, they were all ne'er-do-wells. They're looking at you like, wait a minute, are you, you look familiar. Are you, I see your last name is Davis. Are you related to the Davises that live out of, like, yeah, those are that's my family. Now here you are, stereotyped, maligned, labeled, and you haven't done shit. Maybe you're trying to break the generational curse. You're trying to make a new start. You're trying to do something that they refuse to do. You're out here trying to do good things, great things, worthwhile things. But because you look like your family members, because you are one of your family members, but you're expected to perform like they perform in a negative way. So they just like now people are just waiting for you to mess up, waiting for you to commit a crime, waiting for you to be the type of person that isn't desirable. Like you are displaying antisocial behavior. All right. What up, Den Von and Seedy? King Bingus says, what in the heck are you yapping about? Okay, so you sent me a super chat to ask me what I was yapping about? Well, that's the way to do it. Sounds good to me. I appreciate you. So I'll tell you what I was yapping about. We're talking about being treated like someone who looks like you. Being treated like someone who looks like you. So imagine being stereotyped, being labeled, being put in the same category as somebody who you look like or who reminds them of you or whatever the case may be. Just because you fit a certain physical profile, people expect you to act like that person. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. But one thing is an individual thing. So they don't want to see your personal gifts. They want you or expect you to be like somebody else that they know. Be like somebody else that they've heard of. Be like somebody else or something else that they're familiar with. This could be a problem. So it could be an ex-lover. It could be an ex-wife, an ex-husband. It could be a friend that that you used to be cool with. I mean, people get together for a reason. They separate for a reason. Sometimes the separation lasts a long time. But you can get caught up in not being friends with somebody or not getting a chance to get a fair shake just because your name rings bells in a certain area or a certain category. Just because. And you haven't done anything wrong. You know, Info Spot, I was kind of enjoying seeing Crazy Steve bitch. That's why I didn't say anything. Like, I learned a lot about him yesterday. Like, oh, or was it the day before? Whatever it was. Like, oh, he comes on the show to hate, but if you want to shut this motherfucker down, he even told you, start talking about the NFL. He has no interest. I'm liking it. I'm digging it. Like, I'm like, shit, in that case, we ain't gonna talk about nothing else. But anyway. Being treated like someone who looks like you. Where's the fairness? Where's the liberty? Where's the democracy? Where's the policy? Hey, man, I mean, this can go deeper than a lot of people really realize, because they say, or should I say, I've heard it said before that you actually see people with your spirit before you see them with your eyes. So it's almost like you call people into your space. So it should be no surprise that some people date a bunch of people who look exactly the same. Almost like they took a stencil and they just put the cookie cutter or the stencil in dough and just kept on duplicating the same thing. And then they may ask themselves, well, how come I keep having the same problem with women? How come I keep having the same problem with men? You haven't changed shit about the way that you do things. And not only that, but you have an attraction that you're not even aware of something that you claim irritates you. King Bingus says, I kind of look like Elon Musk. Hate it when most they ask me to build rocket ships and electronic cars. Like, damn, guys, don't you care about my Call of Duty level? That's pretty funny. I like that. And by the way, what is your Call of Duty level? You got Black Ops 6? Where are you up to right now? Because right now I'm up to 56. I would be a lot farther, but, I really only play on the weekends because, when I play for a while. And because I get home late night, like I'll finish this show at about 4 a.m. And so I'm like, let me take my black ass to bed, man. I ain't staying up to play no Call of Duty. So, but thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat, my dude. I appreciate you. I said, thanks for the super chat, my dude. Yeah. You did it times two. I said, thanks for the super chat. That's where you put your mouth with your money at. I appreciate you coming through. Why? Because I appreciate you. Now we going to get the thing and be down like submarine. Take it up to the sky. If you ask, how high? And I'm going to tell you after the stratosphere, we going to get this thing popping around here. Yo, we don't stop. We make sure that we make the beats and we going to put the food on the table and all eat. Nobody going to starve today because my name is Sun752 and it goes that way. And I say, hey, appreciate you coming through, God. Yo, I'm talking about life is hard. But we still gotta roll with the punches, and we gotta keep them fights coming in the bunches. And when I say the fight, I ain't talking about nobody getting hurt, but what I'm talking about is being like Uzi Vert. And that means that we trying to be successful out here, and me ain't settling for less. You down my crew, so I'm down with you too. Let's see what we can do. Never stopping. I'm going shopping with the money that I done made, cause I just got paid. But I also like to save, so I'm going to do that and also know how to behave, because I ain't trying to see the precinct, ain't trying to be succinct, trying to make sure that I know my shit stinks. So sometimes I gotta be humble with y'all, and I'ma let y'all know when I'm not that, I'm still going ball. I stand tall, all 10 toes down, and I don't fuck around. Yeah, I see the rim spinning and the candy paint shining, and I'm still doing this thing. Still have reminding myself that this thing could all be gone in a second. So I'ma live my life to the fullest, and I ain't gonna wreck it. So you understand what I'm trying to do tonight, and I'ma keep my mind right, keep the game tight. Is that all right with you? Can we still continue? Can we do the things that we came to do? Is it in you to make sure that you know what we talking about? I'm giving shouts out to these motherfuckers, and we ain't gonna get out until the job is done. And we gonna still have a lot of fun with our co-workers. Ain't nobody gonna jerk us. We gonna have the money and we stack it to the ceiling. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how the God was feeling this. All right. Okay, he said Tupac reincarnated. Sock rhymes. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. When people send me super chats, I normally, give them a little something. I try to give you a little something. Essentially, listen, I don't sell anything. You give from the heart. So I'm more than appreciative of anything you give. So let's continue. Let's continue. Are you ready for the most? And my name is Son. I'm the host of. Yo, we here. Yo, chill. Ain't nobody gonna stop. Yo, we gonna rock it. We gonna. Yeah, whether we big or small, we gonna rock all y'all. We gonna. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Hit the like button. That's what I need you to do. Yo, I would definitely do it for you. I need you to hit the like button and do it with the quickness. All of a sudden, I'm not like a glutton. I ain't going to eat all of it. I'm going to save a little something for all y'all. I'm saying, yo, are you here without the land? I say, All right. Okay. As we proceed to give you what you need, this is the Daily Go-Getimism Show. I am your host on 752, and we are talking about being treated like someone else that you look like. What is it like when you get treated like someone else that you look like? It can be very off-putting. It seems like it's unfair. Treat me like the person that I am. First, you got to get to know me. Don't compare me to him or her or anyone else. All right, let's go. Let's go, my peoples. Art of Mine 559. What's good, my dude? What's good? Good to see you. Good to see you all day, every day, man. I love having my peoples come through, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. That's why I always say peace to all my day ones, my brand news, and my everydays, my brand news, my everydays, my brand new. So being treated like someone because you look like them or because they look like you. You know, how is it that we lump everybody into like one category or whatever? But the detrimental part about this thing is like this is the easy way to be profiled. It's the easy way for racism to be able to fester. You know, like if you don't like black people as a whole, then it's going to be hard for a black person to have any appeal to you. Now, you don't have to appeal to somebody romantically or anything like that, but they should have a chance to be able to make a couple of dollars to, maybe enhance something that's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a time and a place for all things, even racism, even prejudice, even bigotry. There's a time and a place for it. Those times are not normally when it's directed at you. Nobody wants it to be themselves, and I can't blame them. Why would I want you to mistreat me? Why would I want you to judge me based on somebody else's criteria? But it happens. And it's not that hard. It's not that out of the realm of possibility or even out of the realm of understanding. For example, now, this is just an example, and I'm not saying that this applies to any one person or even any one scenario. But think about simply, let's say if somebody jumps you in an alley or sticks you up in a dark alley, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, should I say Hispanic, Asian, Indian, African, whatever. If somebody assaults you in a dark alley or in some kind of way, even if you didn't have any preconceived notions of that type of person or those types of people, it's going to be hard for you to forget your experience that happened to you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to say like, well, I know that those kind of people, a lot of those are good people. It's going to be hard for you to rationalize that because somebody who looks like them or who acts like them or who is like them hurt you, put your life in danger. And they didn't seem to give a shit. So it's not going to be out of the realm of possibility or understanding that you may keep away from those types of people for a while. And I can't be mad at you for that. I can't be mad at you for that. Until you get over the PTSD of the negative experience that you had, people just going to have to understand or not, but it's up to you. So yeah, next time you in a dark alley and you hear somebody with that kind of accent or looks like the person who hurt you before, yeah, you're going to think that everybody who is like them has the potential to hurt you. Good, wrong, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. Your experience has taught you or told you how to look at people. So that's just how that go. No thanks says some people are into that sort of thing. That sort of thing. Jordan Ray says, shout me out, bro. Carrie Zilla, what's good? Appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, stereotyping, labeling people unjustifiably Yeah, that's not the thing to do. It's not the thing that you probably want to do, but it happens. It happens. And based on your own experience, no, there's no discounting for that. No, I mean, nobody can tell you how you should feel about the experiences that you've had based on who you had those experiences with. It's personal. Sometimes, some things aren't for everybody to understand or accept. It goes how it goes. And until you're finished being over that experience, or until you can see things a little bit different, because presentation, the way you're introduced to something, is going to have an impact on you. Joshua Vargas, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Thanks for the like, Carrie Zilla. As a matter of fact, thanks for the like, all y'all. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. All right. I'm not gonna give y'all all of the noise, but just a little bit more. Okay. I reloaded. That's right. Autobot says, once upon a time, right now. That's what's up. Postbot says, you won't get this entertainment on Netflix. Ark says, you look good, bald. Man, y'all be wildin', right? Wildin'. You look good, bald. Wow. Oh my God, this is. Well, even a backhanded compliment is a compliment of sorts. So, you ever catch a bug with your teeth? No, never caught a bullet with my teeth either. I never even bit a rhyme. Ha ha. But yeah. Being treated like someone because you look like. Being treated like someone who looks like you. It's probably never a good idea to tell a woman that you remind her of another woman. That's probably not a good idea. Women normally insist on being an individual. At the same time, I think that there are certain things, there's certain questions that you probably shouldn't ask if you don't want the answer to them. Like if you're the type of person that easily gets your feelings hurt, you probably want to stay away from certain conversations. And this shouldn't be hard. This shouldn't be any hard material to understand. Like, for example, there are some men out here who like to ask their current woman about their ex-men. Like, let's say you have sex with your girl, and there's some men out there who will ask, like, am I the best you ever had? That's not a question that you should ask. That is an answer that should be given to you without you ever asking the question. If you have to ask, Not no goo. No goo. Is this my pussy? No. A lot of men might ask that, but there's a certain context in which that might be okay to ask. In my opinion, that's still one of those questions that you should allow the answer to be given to you without you asking a question. You just might not be ready for the answer. But there are some women out there that may ask about your involvement with women before them. And a lot of times it's because maybe they might not feel like you are treating them as well as they think that they should be treated. Like maybe she feels like you're treating her like a side piece when she's your whole girl. She's supposed to be the whole love of your life. And maybe you've been treating her like somebody who's on the side. So she doesn't like the way that you're treating her. So she may ask you, well, what did your last woman do? Or what did your last girl do to you? Or what did they do in order to keep you, or, to keep you straight, whatever? Like, how did it go down? You should proceed with caution if you ever are asked these kinds of questions. Ark says, and keep it struggling. Okay, and keep it struggling there as you hold your head so the struggling wings help you fly a few molecules high. Speaking of high, that's one thing about the internet. You never know who you're talking to. You might be getting into a back and forth situation with somebody online, and you think that you're talking to somebody that's rational, somebody that's logical, and you just speaking to somebody who's high as hell and just fucking around on the internet. A lot of people do that. They smoke, drink, whatever their drug of choice is, and they get on the internet just to fuck around, just to talk shit. And here you are with your sober ass, you getting all into your feelings or getting all into the conversation, and you essentially speaking to a bot. Troll. You're speaking to somebody, they just here for fun. They just hanging out. Art of Mine says, I'm sober. Me too. But not everybody is. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell y'all, though? The other day, when we were, I believe it was that Saturday? Saturday show. Remember Saturday show? Now, remember that guy who came through? I think his name was Carrie Bradshaw. Remember, they were pretending to be a woman. And I knew that it was a man because, they called in a few days before. And remember, y'all were going back and forth with him in the chat or whatever. Well, evidently that must have been kind of effective because he deleted his whole profile. He had just made the profile on Wednesday, or it said 3 days ago. So he had just made the profile, but he's evidently somebody who watches the show on a regular basis. It's also somebody who believes that they know me. But if you go back in the chat, you don't see any of his chat comments, because I guess when you delete your whole profile, then everything goes away. So if you listen to the show, you'll hear what he wrote, because I said most of the things on air that he was writing in the chat. But yeah, these are the kind of things you have to go through on the internet. you can easily deal with a whole lot of chaotic things, a whole lot of trolling, a whole lot of labeling. People thinking that they know you. You're going to go through all of that. You're going to go through all of that. But you never know. It could be because they're getting high. It could be because they're drinking. It could be because you really do remind them of somebody that they know, and they may be looking for you to act in the manner that somebody who they knew would act. Info Spot says last Thursday night show callers was something else. Yeah, it was. The shit was like a whirlwind. All kind, yeah, a bunch of twists and turns. This shit was like a roller coaster. But I mean, you're gonna get that. These things happen. I gotta keep my head on a swivel. I gotta stay ready because, as you know, when you call into the show, there are no call screeners. I don't know what you're gonna say. I have no idea. So when that's the situation, it looks easy because, like the caller was saying, not the caller tonight, the caller that we were talking about that deleted his profile. His profile was called Carrie Bradshaw. He said, "You're a total." He said I was a total fraud, and anybody could do what I do better than me, and blah 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 blah. I mean, that's his perception. You know, I know that I make it look easy, almost maybe scripted at certain times, but this shit is all off the head. So I can understand how a person would think that they could easily do this. But like when I used to do stand-up comedy, a lot of people thought that they could come on stage and tell jokes. Some could, but most people who really thought that they could come up on stage and tell jokes, I used to let them come up. I said, all right, come on up. You want to try your hand at this? It's a little different when the lights are in your face and you're obligated to be funny. So you can be funny while you're in your seat. Even if nobody pays you any mind, you just continue watching the show. It's no big deal. But when you get up on that stage, now people are looking for you to do a certain thing. And quite honestly, you better be good at it, or you're going to hear it. So it's all good. Artemon says, I'm here for good vibes, interesting subject matter, and comedy. I'm here for the same thing. Combat Talk says, glory be to the Father and to the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Well, amen to that. Amen to that. All right. So, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Spartacus says maybe he wanted to be a guy again. Dude makes an account pretending to be a woman. Wonder what that says about him. I remember he was trying to defend that shit. That's why when I saw that he deleted the account, I was like, well, ain't this some shit? Because I went back and listened to the show on Saturday. And I'm looking at the comments. And I said, oh, his comments are gone. So when you go back and look at the show, and you go to the comments in the chat, and it's like, yo, he removed all of them shits are removed. So we're talking about him, and it's like he's not there. He's the invisible chat. He's the invisible chat. Mafia Gorilla says hello from Somalia. Somalia is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Go Somalia. Third Eye Ninja 7 says, I'm new to this live or channel, but shout out from Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie, New York. Shout out to Poughkeepsie, New York. Y'all getting up in the mountains, going upstate. Shout out to NY and all my peeps in NY. And that's a lot of people. Hold on. I'm from Philly, so of course I'm gonna have some New York peeps. You know what I mean? And I used to have a whole lot of family in New York. A lot of them moved out of New York. The old heads passed on. Shout out to the ancestors. Shout out to the ancestors. Audemars says, I've done 3 lives. It's not easy. I stick to shorts. So far and few, not consistent. Why can't I check this shit out? I didn't know you was doing your thing. InfoSpot says, go do YouTube live for 2 hours and keep people interested. It's not easy. I did it 4 years ago. Much respect for your show. It's not easy, especially, when you see waves. Sometimes there's a bunch of people in the chat. Nights like tonight, there aren't as many. I can see the number. It's not. You gotta still stay diligent. Like, all right, just keep pushing on. And I'm trained to do that because of years of doing stand-up comedy. The rooms weren't always full. People weren't always engaged. But because you control whether they laughed or not, the training was the best training I've ever had. You learn not to get too discouraged if there's not a big crowd. And you learn how to you got to rock what's in front of you. They paid to come see you, or if they just came out to come see you, you rock them. You do your best as if it was a stadium full of people. You can't bail out just because they're not doing what you want them to do. You make them do what you need them to do. Third Eye Ninja Philly says, I have a whole lot of family in Philly. That's what's up. Audemars says, in India, the lives are weird. They stare at the camera and don't speak. Get out of here. Stare at the camera and don't speak. No, man. And I see, no judgment. But there are so many things that I see cats do when they do podcasts and things like that. Little things that to me are so unprofessional. A lot of people use a Ring camera. I don't use a Ring camera. I use actual lights. So if I wear glasses, if I wore my glasses, then you can see a reflection of some things. So it's better not to wear glasses, because then you can see where the lights are coming from. But I'll see people wearing glasses on camera, and you can clearly see the Ring camera that they're using. I went to this guy's podcast the other day. Not only could you see his Ring camera, he had a mirror. Like the camera was facing the mirror that was in back of him, and the mirror lets you see the Ring camera and everything else. I'm like, in the camera, you can see what everybody else can see. Did you want them to see that? Little stuff. I guess some people just concentrate on the views. Like, as long as the views are high, it doesn't matter, all that little stuff. But to me, it does. It's production. And it shows how much thought you put into certain things. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, being treated like someone because they look like you. That's a hard thing to have to deal with, especially when you don't want to deal with that. especially when you don't want to be a part of that, especially when that's not your deal. That's not what you came here for. But you got to try to live up to something that somebody else did, or to try to explain your way out of something that somebody else did when you didn't have anything to do with it. It didn't involve you. But that's what we got to deal with. That's our struggle. When you're being associated with somebody that reminds them of you, or when you look like somebody else. Earlier in the show, we used the example about the dogs. If you don't understand different breeds of dogs, and you're expecting one dog that you bought or that you adopted, okay, to act like another the same dog. Like, let's say you bought a schnauzer and your schnauzer got old and you had to put him down, so you get another schnauzer, and you're expecting that schnauzer to act just like the last schnauzer, like it has the same breed. I'm brain. Like, no, it's going to be different. You got to retrain. Info Spot says there's a lot of junk on YouTube lives, like these card readings. A lot of YouTubers are doing this nonsense. All I can say, Info, is like, you got to get in where you fit in, man. But I feel how you feel. Like, if you go down the live tab on YouTube right now, let's see who's on. Let's see. What will you see if you go on YouTube now under the live tab? Let's see. I've done this before, and I was on, and I didn't see myself. So what we got? Cowboys versus Texans, live play-by-play. What's this? What's the CNBC live? Russia Ukraine live. Fox Commanders pregame show. TCU out of money. St. Augustine board. 5.9 million Palm Springs reparations. 11th SBI banking and economic conclave. Trump's open message to Putin. Now, that's all I see on the live tab. Yeah, that's all I see on the live tab. So without seeing myself, I only see 1, 2, 3, 4 lives. And none of these seem to be popping. Even Fox 5? Only 7 people watching. Okay, here we are. What's this? All right, they got 88 people watching. Trump's open message to Putin. You know, this is one of those slow nights. But hey, it go the way it go. You still you have to do what you came to do. So nobody can do this for you. You got to do it yourself. Pardon me. You got to do it yourself. It ain't that bad. They're going to get out of here pretty soon. Oh, Artemon says, I have a mini schnauzer and a pit bull. That's what's up. I didn't know Putin was a dwarf. He's short. He's not tall. He's not tall. He is definitely not tall. But Putin is from the old KGB. And you know how they were. You know what I'm saying? So his view of the world is not modern. He comes from the old KGB. So we're talking about the old Cold War between the United States and Russia, or should I say the USSR? So Putin remembers a time when Ukraine, Georgia, Slovakia, Jex, you go. They were all controlled by the USSR. They had a lot of territorial interests. So to try to act like this guy is not like he's going to stop at Ukraine, I'm like, I don't think y'all understand how this works. He's not going to stop at Ukraine. Ukraine will be a message that he's sending out to the rest of the world. We're coming to get all y'all. We got to finish this thing in Ukraine. And when we're finished, well, just stay tuned to our next stop. But hey, yeah, politics. One of the things that they talked about a lot over this past election was identity politics. You know, can't vote for Kamala Harris just because she's black. Because you vote for Donald Trump just because he was white. A lot of people did. Of course, people are sweeping that under the rug. The corporate media is not talking about that, but I mean, it's a real thing. You're not going to tell me that all of the people who voted for Donald Trump did so because of the economy or immigration. I'm not trying to hear that shit. If I don't know anything, I know and understand Americans. So we're not going to 100% take racism, sexism out of the equation. There were plenty of women who told me that they didn't want a woman to be president. They didn't think that was a good idea. So you think no men are saying it? Shit. They said it openly, but it's all good. It's all good. We still got to roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. But we're about to do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. Listen, in advance, I want to let y'all know that I appreciate you coming on through. Appreciate everything you do. Appreciate you being my peeps. Appreciate y'all, and I will keep it funky for the rest of my days. Whether I drink the Baileys, smoke the haze, I'm going to make sure that you're in a crave, and I'm going to always do my best. No one contest. Yeah, and I'm here for this. I'm here for it all. I'm going to make sure I stand tall. And while I'm sitting at the table and I'm ready, willing, and able to carry cables and make sure that we strengthen the bonds and make sure that we got all kinds of love for each other that can get very variable. But I'm here and I'm ready, willing, and able to do the things that I know need to be done. And we gonna still have a whole lot of fun. Yo, I ain't the one. I'm actually the two, the Sun 752 coming through to you. What you gonna do? Do you want to be a star? Do you want to be up in the sky and fly high? Come down to the ground because you keep it kind of grounded in. When I listen to you, I think that you sounded a little like somebody that I wanted to get to know. So I proceeded with caution and still clocked your flow. And yo, it was a good old time. And I was listening to the things that you were saying and it blew my mind. I said, yo, there's a lot of people out here with a good brains, no Diddy. It's still the same. Same way that I found out when I was a kid. I made sure no crimes and do no bids because that ain't the life I'm trying to live. I'm trying to be co-positive. Okay. Info Spot says when USSR ended the agreement with NATO, was bordering countries of Russia would be part of NATO. This agreement was broken. I don't like Putin, but understand both sides of this war. I get it. There are always two sides of a story. And of course, other countries, let's listen. It's not like the United States doesn't have territorial interests of their own. So all of that shit that we talk about, you know, democracy, we have to protect democracy. Democracy is another word for money. We got to protect that money, the king's money. So whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, it doesn't matter. The game is the cash. You're not making no cash. You are not at the helm. That's what you were hired to do. Elected, whatever you want to call it. That's what your job is. To keep the money flow so we are always in good standing and we are protected by the military. What does the military do? Protect the money. Protect the interest of the money. Of course, we can't tell our soldiers that. We can't tell our sailors that. We can't tell our airmen that. We have to tell them that we're fighting terrorism and that we are preserving democracy. Because that sounds a whole lot better than, listen, man, we got to give this money. I'm part of the 1% and I ain't trying to be part of nothing else. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 18th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. My peoples, my cousin Daisy Carter, and also Morris Morgan and Rosanna Rodriguez Martinez, and also, wait a minute, let's see what she's doing. Okay. And also Kenya Strachan and Alicia Adkins Opeke. And, she's last but not least. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 18th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, go hard, go for yours, and remember, you can get labeled just for coming to the table and looking like somebody that they knew that was able to keep the party rocking or bring the party down, and you haven't even ever been around the person that they say and that you look like or act like, and you ain't trying to bend over backwards or act or hurt your back like anything that they were trying to say that you should do, and you ain't down with none of that shit, and you shouldn't do nothing to try to endear the people who don't want to give you something that we're going to do right now. Why is you fronting? Why do we have to deal with all kinds of tribulations and trials? And I ain't trying to do that shit. Money piles, and I'm trying to get a lot of it, but that's the only thing that I'm trying to do right now. So why can't we be down? Why can't we get it together? Why can't we link and act like the shit don't stink? I'm down with you. I hope you're down with me. I'll be back tomorrow at 2, between 4 and 3. Yo, and that's 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm talking about. Let me rewind and do it again. Hey, yo, my friend, what's up with y'all? Are you cool? Can I give you a call? Off air. Okay. Hold on, son. Hold on. What we got going on here? What we got going on here, man? What we got going on here? Okay, all right, go ahead and put that thing together like that. Let me see. Nathan Blevin says, why do you say what you don't know? You talking to me or you talking to them? Which one is? Audemars says 1 million quarters, 250,000. 1 million dimes, 100,000. That's what's up. Mr. Too Shiesty, what's good? What's good, my dude, man? Everything all right? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Good to see you, man. Well, we about to get on up out of here, man. Like I said, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. Y'all know what it is. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow. Won't beg, steal, or borrow. There won't be no sorrow, won't be no pain. All we going to do tomorrow is take the train to another place where we can get another space and we can do another thing and show another face and meet another face and we can get together face to face and do all this thing and leave without this bitch without a trace. And y'all know what I'm trying to say and do. Are y'all down with this shit? Don't try to get brand new. Just do the things that you did before. If you were successful before, you could do it a little more. And I'm here for you. I got my eye on you. What we going to do? Yo, what is you trying to do? Is you trying to sue litigation? What the fuck is going on? What's going on with this nation? Yo, son, 7-5, and I'm doing this thing 2:00 live, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's Tuesday night, going into Wednesday. We will be friends another way. But I stay on my grind, and I'm going to be one of them ones, and you'll find that this thing is going to shine like a diamond. Shine like a diamond. Yeah, while I'm rhyming. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We'll be back 2 a.m. tomorrow night. And then we'll be back the night after that, 2 a.m. And then all the way up to Friday. And then Saturday, we'll be here 1 p.m. But that's first we got to make it to tomorrow. You know what I mean? We got to make it to tomorrow. It ain't always easy to make it to tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I can sneak to tomorrow. All right, y'all. Peace. Let me get a bite. Oh, hold on. Take off my uniform. It's time for me to clock out. And yes, when I take off my uniform, you know what I mean? Thing heavy on the neck. Cow bones a little heavy on the neck, baby. Take your uniform off too. But you ain't naked. You're still well respected. All right, y'all. Like I said, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. Be back tomorrow, 2 a.m. I hope to see y'all here rocking out with me. Peace.